The Quinnipiac Bobcats are moving on as they defeat the Siena Saints 67-58 in the opening round of the 2018 MAAC tournament here at the Times Union Center. I'm Bryan Schwartz alongside Ryan Chichester for the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network. Ryan, what will you take from tonight's game for the Bobcats?
That the word freshman is just a label. You look at Jacob Rigoni and Rich Kelly, the two combined for 35 points. They were red hot to start the beginning of the game, especially from three. Their fingerprints were all over that 21-5 lead that the Bobcats jumped out to in the first half. So Kelly and Rigoni, experience, poise, not really an issue for the Bobcats. Looking ahead, something I'll take away from this game is that the Bobcats did struggle with the press a little bit with Siena. That's what helped the Saints come back in the second half a little bit. So I'm looking for Canisius to maybe do more of the same against the Bobcats and force some turnovers.
And when we talked to head coach Baker Dunleavy post-game, he talked about the press and how they'll have to face that against Canisius as well Friday night.
You know, us having to play a game tonight and them getting fresh and then watching us do that, he's a really good coach. So it's possible. We're not going to practice again before that game, so we're going to have to watch some film and get better. But I think we're doing a better job with our press offense. I mean, I think obviously against Manhattan, the team presses a lot. We did a really good job handling it. It's just, I think it was more the circumstances tonight. We needed to find ways to be aggressive, even with a big lead, and we just hadn't had experience doing that. So again, we'll watch the film, we'll get better, and if they press us, we'll have to execute.
So Quinnipiac has lost to Canisius already twice this season, swept in the season series. Is this team any different, though?
It sure looked different tonight. You look at the first half, that was easily the best 20 minutes I've ever seen the Bobcats play this season, probably in the last few years. The only thing I would say is the second half, they got a little lackluster and a little too complacent, which helped Siena creep back into this game. And if you think about those Canisius games, they were in both of those games, and then Canisius pulled away in the second half. So the key is going to be if the Bobcats can play an entire 40 minutes. That would really determine if they are a different team or not.
Well, here's Jacob Rigoni on the game tomorrow, and if the Quinnipiac Bobcats are a different team.
Two good games against them that we can look at, and I think we're a much better team right now, and we haven't put a full 40 minutes together against them, so that'll be important. Yeah, like I said, 40 minutes of hard defensive end and being solid on defensive end, and then just keep doing what we're doing offensively, being patient and picking our spots.
And one thing that stood out against Siena was a 16-point first half. On the defensive side, Quinnipiac played very well in the first half.
Yeah, they really improved their perimeter defense the first two times against the Saints. Siena shot 62.5% from three. They hit just two in the first half in this one. So Jimmy Patsos after the game was talking about the Bobcats' perimeter defense and how they were getting out to those shooters, and said that he wished that the Saints got it inside to Prince Oduro a little more. But the Bobcats' defense was doing a great job drawing fouls on Oduro. So, even if they got it inside to him, he couldn't be as aggressive at the rim. So very disciplined defense from the Bobcats tonight.
Well, here's Cam Young post-game about the Bobcats' defensive efforts and then moving on against Canisius.
I think we really, keyed in defensively, and I think that could really carry over. Playing a really good offensive team, they got some really good players, Crumpton and Reese, and I think the way we played defensively today could help us, carry over to tomorrow.
And the feeling for Baker Dunleavy in the locker room was exactly what Quinnipiac wanted.
Yeah, it's almost a feeling that you have to control in your mind, knowing, because if you tell yourself like, oh my gosh, this could be the last game, it doesn't allow you to do your job as a coach or a player. What we talked about was, at some point, we are going to play our last game. Let's make sure that game is played our way. And even if we didn't make some of those shots in the first half, and it was a tight game at the end, and we didn't pull it out, I thought the mentality of our guys and the way we approached the game was the way we wanted to, and that's all you can really ask.
All right, Ryan, so Quinnipiac gets the win over Siena. They move on to face Canisius. Your final thoughts for tonight?
Well, the Baker Dunleavy rebuild looks like it's well ahead of schedule. These two freshmen, Rigoni and Kelly, you can't say enough about them. Even Jimmy Patsos was raving about the duo after the game. The future is bright for Quinnipiac, and it's not too late to forget about the present right now. They win their first MAAC tournament game in 4 years, and it's a good time to be a Bobcat fan.
For continued coverage of the 2018 MAAC tournament, be sure to follow all of us on Twitter at QBSN and theqbsn.com. For Ryan Chichester, I'm Bryan Schwartz. We'll see you tomorrow against Canisius.